Memories are made of this. Memories are made of this.
A small group of senators in the Democratic caucus are reaffirming their commitment to killing the Senate health care reform bill if it includes a public option. The most vocal among them is Senator Joe Lieberman of Connecticut, who is now repeating his threat to block any bill that includes any version of a public option.
Exactly whom does the junior senator from Connecticut represent? The 334,000 people in that state, 10% who do not have health insurance tonight? Or Aetna, just one of the health insurance behemoths that have its corporate headquarters in Hartford. Fifth story in the countdown, Senator Joe Lieberman declaring that under no circumstances will he vote for a bill that contains a public option, and he still caucuses with the Democrats because the man at Time magazine has this week dubbed the senator from Aetna drawing his line in the sand in an interview with the Wall Street Journal, telling the newspaper, quote, "I'm going to be stubborn on this," refusing even to accept the trigger compromise proposed by the Republican of Maine, Olympia Snowe. Once the government creates an insurance company or plan, Senator Lieberman adding, the government or the taxpayers are liable for any deficit that government plan runs, really without limit, except, of course, for the projection by the Congressional Budget Office that the bill will save the government money, will reduce the federal deficit by $130 billion over its first decade and by as much as $650 billion over its second decade. In a new survey from the nonpartisan Robert Wood Johnson Foundation, 79% saying it is important for the president to include health care reform in addressing the nation's economic crisis. Another poll from public policy polling showing that the outcome of the health care debate could weigh heavily on the Democrats' chances at the midterms next year. If Congress does pass a health care reform bill with a public option in it, the Democrat leads generically 46-41 on the 2010 ballot. But if Congress fails to pass any kind of reform, respondents are then split 40-40 between the generic Democrat and the generic Republican. An actual Democrat in Congress wondering aloud here on MSNBC this morning why Senator Lieberman has been elevated to such prominence.
Where did this number 60 take on so much resonance? All we're asking is let the Senate consider these issues one by one. If Joe Lieberman carries the day, so be it. But if he doesn't, he shouldn't stop everyone else from voting on it.
Instead of ruining the bill by taking out the public option, why not just do the fair thing? If there are 4 senators who won't let us pass this bill with a public option, we have a mechanism to pass it anyway, through the budget reconciliation process. If you do that, you only need 51 votes to pass it, which exist in the Senate, instead of 60. Just a simple majority. That's how most democracies work. That's what we should have done from the beginning. And that's what Democrats ought to do right now.
Memories are made of this.